industrial and bureaucratic interest. All and more are causes. And all of them come to their ultimate point of focus here in the Pentagon, here in the Gold Room, where the Joint Chiefs of Staff meet to make final military decisions and recommendations. I once came to this room in 1962 after the Chinese and the Indians had clashed in the high Himalayas. It was to lecture the chiefs on the military and political issues in that distant war. I don't know if they were impressed, but I can tell you I certainly was. What can we sort out from the conflicting forces that converge on this room? What is the current truth on this deadly competition? Where lies the responsibility for it now? And where lies the responsibility for bringing it to an end? We no longer believe, I don't think people generally believe, as did Dulles, that a deep moral issue is involved. There was once, I have no doubt, an economic imperative. In the years following World War II, the United States economy was sustained by a kind of military Keynesianism. But in more recent times, Germany and Japan have shown that the modern capitalist economy can function and can function very well without this military support. These countries have used their resources for new, efficient civilian plant and equipment. We have used much more of ours for weapons. And this was their advantage in world trade competition. The competition between ourselves and the Soviets is increasingly narrow, increasingly simple. It is bureaucratic and technological. Each country has great organizations, military and civilian, that are sustained by what the other does. What of the responsibility for arresting the competition? We shouldn't spend too much time looking for scapegoats or villains, either in the military or in the supporting industrial firms. We should understand their function, their viewpoint, their bureaucratic and economic interests, and the perils to which they subject us and to which they subject themselves. But to bring the competition to an end, we must look to the civilian leadership. The responsibility must be squarely, unequivocally there. It is a political task, and in this game, civilian political leaders are the only anti-heroes and the only potential heroes. The United States can't bring this competition to an end by itself. But neither can we use the fact that we are in competition with the Soviets as an excuse for continuing the competition, something that we have frequently done in the past. We know that the Russians, far more than we, have had experience of the devastation of war. They have seen armies sweep over their land, and everyone who knows Russia knows how deep is this fear, how deep is this scar. And Soviet leaders know just as well as ours do the consequences of a nuclear exchange. It is this basic community of interest that we must now cultivate. This must be the new symbiosis. The pressure must always be on our political leadership to lead. We don't hesitate to affirm our belief that we have devised a better life than the Soviets, and this should be our case for taking the initiative, that we have more to lose. President Kennedy once laid down a rule, many of us heard him enunciate it, a rule for himself that I think might well apply to every politically conscious citizen. I never want to let a day pass, he said, without thinking about nuclear war and what can be done to lessen the risk.